What's up, everybody, man? I am back. This is gonna be my second drop of the day. I normally don't do this, I did it once in the past, but someone was I guess you could say it's breaking news again, man. Mr. Lefty Gunplay. I haven't heard really nothing about that individual for a cool minute, so the only thing I thought of was, he's minding his P's and Q's and doing what he needs to do and taking care of things. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was probably speculating that, he fell off the grid because he fell off. You know what I mean? There's claims that he's lost it. He's lost his money. He's lost his everything. You know what I mean? The only thing he hasn't lost is his intoxication, I should say. I seen a couple videos and I was thinking, what the fuck did this guy do now? You know what I mean? What is this guy up to? He's a character. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I really have nothing bad to say about this individual. Other than that, he needs to get his fucking shit together, man. Because I actually didn't believe what people were saying about this cat, but someone sent me a fucking video of him. I guess he was going through a drive-through, but they try to make it look like he was panhandling. From what I made of it, old boy got his motherfucking hand shook and his money took. He got pulled in by some female that I didn't really know who she is. I guess it's blue-faced old lady. Somebody very popular or something like that. Well, anyways, whoever she is, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know who she was until today, you know what I'm saying? Because I did see that short about... I'm rambling on everywhere today, people. Yes, I am. But there was a short that I did see of Lefty Gunplay, and she's all like, who is this guy right here? I know him as the funny guy, you know what I mean? To me, she was straight clowning the fool. You know what I mean? She was straight clowning him, I know who you are, you're that funny guy. And then Lefty mumbled something. I guess he must have used on the dead homies. You know what I mean? I find that so. When the homies use that catchphrase, it irks me, because that's trying to. You're copying somebody's stilo. That's the brother's stilo. Let's keep it real here. So I don't know what you guys call it, fucking urban talk or not. That's bullshit. That lingo comes from the brothers. It doesn't seem right when other people use it. It's just like when they use that N-word. I don't know which one I frown upon more. You know what I mean? Probably both the same, really. You know what I mean? Because on the dead homies. I remember the last time, man, when I was in Supermax, this one little brother, he was a bank robber. First of all, supposedly he was a bank robber, so that made him a fucking liar right there, because he wouldn't have been right there with us, but that's what he was claiming. But if you guys are familiar with county jail, there's a lot of motherfuckers that fucking claim the fame in there, and that are good storytellers, you know what I mean? This guy would fucking use on the dead homies like every fucking 5 minutes, and he wasn't even on my race, you know what I mean? He was a brother, but he got so fucking irritating that I almost felt like telling him something, you know what I mean? This little fucking Urkel looking motherfucker would be on the phone like every fucking 5 minutes or 2 minutes. On the dead homies, That shit sounds so fucking, he made it sound pathetic, you know what I mean? I've heard other brothers do it, but they use it, in a way that sounds proper, but like every couple of minutes, it's like, makes you look fucking like a straight fucking J-cat. So anyways, people, yeah, I did see that short of Lefty Gunplay. He attended this female's concert or whatever the fuck it was, whoever she is. I really don't know. I'm not talking bad about her. He fell in love with her looks and the coochie, I guess. Oh, girl, fucking worked that boy, because this video that was sent to me, Lucky was Lucky. I mean, my bad, Lucky. That's my boy. Lefty was in a fucking drive-through. To me, he sounded fucking like he was drunk and out of it. You know what I mean? He wasn't panhandling. Old boy's got fed, yeah. What happened to him? He was put in a situation, and he has this attitude that I would believe he would get the alcohol would get the best of him, and he still wanted to live that thug life vida and go off like a big baby and walk off like, fuck you guys, fuck this, you know what I mean? fuck that car. That car don't mean nothing to me. I don't need none of that shit. You know what I mean? And that's the way it looked to me. But I don't believe he was out there panhandling. I righteously believe he just was let whatever drug he was on get the best of him. Looked like it could have been a combination of shit. But anyways, man, today's gonna be a short video, but I thought I would touch on that real quick because my boy Lefty Gunplay, man, you know, you really fucking gotta get right, homie. You know, because you going left is all wrong. You're gonna wreck your fucking future, my boy. You know, at the end of the day, you need to wake up and fucking realize how good you have it, G. You were given an opportunity, whether it's behind talent or just the way your fucking look is, doesn't matter. You got you to a status where others wish they could be at. You know, don't take it for granted, man. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, your rap game could use some polishing up, my G. The first time I ever heard you was at, I think it was Boulevard Baby. I thought that was some good shit right there, you know what I mean? I heard another one too, it kind of sounded like a little love song and shit. That shit was pretty good too, you know what I mean? But I believe you would do really good, my boy, if you had someone write your shit and you flowed it, you know what I mean? Because you do got the look, my boy. I mean, you don't look like any homies that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? But you have that all bullshit aside, you have that swag that really comes either from the homies from New York, the Ricans, or the homies from up north, because they've had that swag for a cool minute. Especially you wearing that grill, that's some crazy shit. You know what I mean? That's something I don't accept it, but you know, it's allowed nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because God forbid me that I ever see any of my younger homeboys with the grill on. Oh my goodness. So anyways, I'm just gonna leave it as that. But to each his own, you know what I mean? You do fit that that look, you know what I'm saying? That style that is fucking going around, you know. You know, I don't know, man. This is something hard to touch on because there's so many sensitive motherfuckers out there, and really I don't give a shit, you know what I mean? If you don't like it, then just keep on stepping. You know what I mean? I'm just calling it how I see it. I'm not bashing old boy, but I tell you one thing, what I will tell him, he needs to fucking straighten his shit up, man, because he's gonna fucking up with fucking checking out, man. You know what I mean? Whether it be in a good way or a bad way, hopefully it's in a good way. Maybe he'll check out on a really good one and never come back down. You know what I mean? But people are clowning you. Gee, yeah, you got your supporters, but you have just as many people clowning you, know? Stop being that fucking circus. You know, you have a gift that was given to you. Utilize it. Set examples, man. You know what I mean? You're on your right path. I tell you one thing, your best path would be to be sober, my boy. And that 8-day bullshit, I could clown about that all day, you know what I mean? That 8-day fucking sobriety probably came from that fucking Scante run that you might have been on, homie. And I'm just calling it how I see it because, you know, you boast and brag about it. That's your choice of get high. You know, I've done it too. I've been on them motherfucking Scante runs and started seeing Bushmen and shit. And when you go in that Scante coma, shit, depending on how many days you up is how many days you're going to be asleep. So more than likely, that's probably the days you were sober, my boy. You know, that shit ain't worth it, G. You know what I mean? I'm telling you now, get sober, get right, and you'll see life for what it really is, man. You'll enjoy it so much better. Well, anyways, man, with that being said, I'm going to bring this motherfucking video to an end because I ain't got nothing more to say about you, Lefty Gunplay. You know what you need to do, G. You may not ever see this video, and really I don't care whether you do or you don't, you know what I mean? But if one of my followers happens to engage with you, you know, maybe they could talk some sense into you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling you to reach out to me. I really don't care if you do or you don't. You know what I mean? I was a special invite to your backstage party in Adelanto. Did I stay and hang around for that? No, I'm not a fan of people like that. You know what I'm saying? if I would have met you right there, I would have shook your bicep and she gave you your flowers and shit. But you know, I'm not that person. You know, I'm not the one that gets like the way some of these cats here on social media get all fucking fanned out. I mean, I'm gonna give you an example, man. Mike Tyson, that was my boy in boxing during his prime time. Of course, Julio Cesar Chavez as well. But I was right there on Sunset Boulevard and seen Mike Tyson right there. I could have jumped out, you know, and fanned out, but nah. To me, he was just a fucking badass brother that has a lot of feria and was a fucking knockout artist. If anything, I would have probably did. I would have went and provoked him and let him lay me out so I could have had me a lawsuit. Kind of like what happened to old fucking dumbass Wes Watson, right? Yeah, motherfucker got his head shook and his money took too, right? But you see, I don't really get down like that, man, because if anything, like I said, if anything, that's probably what would have been in the back of my mind. But anyways, people, that being said, man, if you want to get started on your fitness journey, shoot me that DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Baby, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Now, Lefty Gunplay, get up and get yours and get it in the right way. Stop going left, go right. Words right. You feel me? Let's do this.